is Sims, and we are back with more Sweet Views, and we might be getting our ending in this part, because we're at the end of Stage 6. We gotta do Stage 7. I don't know if that's gonna be really long or not. There's only a few choices, so I don't know if it's super long with only a few choices, or if it's super short. And then we have our ending, so I don't know if this will be the part we get through all of it, or if we'll have another one, but I'm really hoping we can get through it all in this one so that we don't have normal length part and then like a 10-minute part to get our good ending and then another 10-minute part to get our bad ending, but it is what it is, right? Anyway. Ugh. Where am I? Oh, you're up. Looks like they dosed us with some kind of knockout gas. We were still in a cage, but we'd apparently been moved to a warehouse. Yeah, that's true. The next day would be the 7th and final day. We could have done this in the last part, but whatever. If Hogstein had wanted us as hostages, I was sure he had some plan to use our predicament against the others. Just like the way he'd used Urabe as a shield for the aliens. Tomorrow morning's gonna be the final showdown. Yeah, we have to find a way out of here before the game starts. It's like you're reading my mind. No reason for us to make it easy for him. I nodded. Alright, bedtime it is then. Good night, Spacey. It was only a small thing, but I felt my heart jump happily when he said goodnight. Then all the day's events finally caught up to me, and I felt exhausted. I snuggled up close to Ryuji and let my eyes slide closed. We can skip this, because we've already read this. Our family's dead. Anyway. Our family's dead. Sound like a douche. It's a terrible thing to say. My God. Wake up, sleepyhead. I felt someone shaking me and opened my eyes to see Ryuji's face above me. Ryuji? Wait, we were tied up. How is he... You okay? As he spoke, he said about taking off my ropes. Yeah, I'm fine, but... Weren't you tied up too? He grinned and pointed at the floor behind me. I turned to see a piglet, unconscious, sprawled across it. Hostage is a very important prop for Hogstein's little play, right? Oh, so you tricked them again? Yep. I haven't gotten any smarter since we duped him on the boat, I guess. Poor Jazz Hands. He'd gotten the attention of the piglet watching the warehouse and pretended his injury had gotten worse and he was about to die. Once he'd convinced the piglet to loosen his ropes, it was all over. So, what do you think? Pretty smart, huh? Yeah, I'm just surprised I didn't wake up. I actually felt a little embarrassed that I'd been off in dreamland while he was fighting a piglet. Well, you seem pretty wiped. I don't blame you for sleeping through it. Besides, you look super cute when you're sleeping. You were watching me? Yeah, why not? I'd watch you sleep all day if I could. Oh, jeez. I don't care if he likes it. That's really embarrassing. That is a little embarrassing. This is the time where it's okay to be like, that's a little embarrassing. Anyway, we should get moving. If more of these guys show up, it's gonna be trouble, especially because, you're like drooling or something. Like, your face is all slack, you got a double chin. Like, nobody looks sexy or cute when they're sleeping, Jesus. What? Oh, come on. Are you still worked up over that? I thought we talked about this shrinking violet stuff. Let's go. He frowned and started to pull me along. Oh, man. Maybe he's right. Why am I so worked up over this? I need to pull it together. We're not done with this game yet. Ryuji... What now? Promise me we'll get out of here alive. Of course we will. He squeezed my hand. We all will. You, me, Subaru, everybody. Nobody gets left behind. Right. We nodded to one another and strode out of the warehouse. Curious about the whimpering thing, like, just seemed a little out of place. The warehouse was surrounded by a thick green forest, but above it we could see the back of Hogstein's castle, of Castle Hogstein. Okay, so here's my thing. Where the fuck in this park could they possibly have hidden a whole fucking other hospital thing? It's not in that forest, but you had to be like, we go through the little forest, we go down a path in the forest, and there it is, this whole other hidden hospital. Where? Where? It's not on the map. There's not even like a it's just... It's not supposed to be, because otherwise you'd see and be like, what's that? And then when it happened, you'd be like, oh, well, yeah, it was on the map. And you wouldn't be surprised. But it's still irritating, because you're like, but then this map is totally fucking inaccurate. Which I guess, if it was a map of the park, it would totally be inaccurate for a reason. But still, I don't know. It's tweaking me out a little. Like, huh. I didn't realize when we were in there. But this is the place from that first night. Back when you patched me up the first time. Hard to believe that was only 6 days ago. Whoops. Probably shouldn't be letting myself get all nostalgic right now, huh? Judging by the sun, it was almost noon, and we didn't have long before Hogstein figured out that we'd escaped. Do you think we can hook up with everybody else before the game starts? Maybe, but doing it without Hogstein noticing? That's gonna be tough. We are never going to get to see Bear Jamboree. Or whatever the fucking Bear Family Jamboree, or Woodland Creature Family Jamboree, whatever the fuck it is. We're never going to fucking get... We're never going... We finished Midnight OX finally, so we got to go through that one. So, okay, cool, I'm happy. We have never gotten to do the other one at the Coliseum thing, or whatever the hell it is, right? Which is the normal... Oh no, that's at the store is day 5, right? Huh. And then day 6 was supposed to be at the Coliseum thing. And then day 7 is supposed to be the Bear Family Jamboree, or what the fuck ever. We're never gonna get to do these! It's tweaking me out a little. I want to do them! Anyway. We were still mulling it over when my phone rang. It's Shido! Great! Ask him what he thinks we should do. I nodded and flipped the phone open. Oink! What?
And this is Subaru Shido! You better not get in the way of my investigation! Just kidding!
Oink, oink, oink. It wasn't Shido's voice at all, but I definitely recognized it. Hogstein? I got new hostages. Not us, them. Hey, what the hell's going on? Why does he have Subaru's phone?
Oink oink! Wondering how I got this phone, huh? Oh, that's an exciting story!
Well?
You see, after I let him call you last night, I took his phone.
That's... Of course. That must have been the deal Shido was talking about.
You're not gonna get to meet up with your friends. Bad hostages get punished, and you've been very bad hostages.
Then he was gone. How did he get Subaru's phone? It sounds like handing over his phone was the condition for being allowed to call us the other night. Huh. Damn. Well, he knows we've flown the coop now. Things were looking bad. Hogstein almost certainly already had people out looking for us. Maybe we should leave the woods and head for the plaza. Good idea. We need to get as far away from the warehouse as possible. We hid in the shadows of the trees, just in case, and made our way carefully toward the plaza. Hey, hold up a minute. I stopped and Ryuji looked around cautiously for a moment before continuing. You think Hogstein took the other phones or just Subaru's? Oh, that's a good point. Why don't you try calling somebody else? If we know what they're doing, that'll give us a better idea of what to do. Who should I call? I decided Shirabe would be the best bet. Shirabe speaking. Oh, thank goodness it's you! I looked over at Ryuji, nodded, and turned on the speaker. We were getting pretty worried about you. How are things over there? I told him everything, how Hogstein had captured us, and how he'd escaped and we were making our way to the plaza. We're almost there ourselves, but you should break off and pick another target. What? Why? There are piglets everywhere, and they're on high alert. I'm pretty sure they're looking for you. Oh no. As far as what you should do now... Hold on a second. I could hear Shirabe discussing something in the background, and before long, Shido's voice came over the speaker. This is Shido. Listen carefully. We don't fucking know your voice, dude. If we beat this last game, then all 7 of us should be free to go. Right now, I think your best bet is to just keep running. You got that? Do whatever it takes, but don't let them catch you. Got it. I snapped the phone shut. So basically, we're playing tag with Hogstein. Sounds fun. Yay! A whole hour of this, so this should be a short chapter because it should not be. We shouldn't be doing this for like hours. You know what I mean? Damn, this isn't looking so good. We'd made it to the edge of the forest next to Alice Cart, near the road that led back to the plaza. Just as Shirabe had said, there were piglets everywhere. Well, Hogstein did say we weren't going to get to meet up with our friends. Guess he wasn't kidding. This is as close as we're going to be able to get to the plaza. Let's head back into the woods and see how things go. I nodded and we turned and moved off. I didn't even know Hogstein had that many piglets. We're going to have to be careful. Yeah. Oh, hey, speak of the devil. They're coming into the woods now? As soon as the piglet spotted us, it dropped into a fighting stance. So he's got them running security and looking out for us. He stepped forward in between me and the piglet. I can deal with this one. Ryuji dropped into a fighting stance of his own. I backed off to give them space. Let's dance. And the battle began. Rah! Oh, that hurt. Ryuji lashed out with his right fist, clearly aiming for the piglet's face. The piglet threw up both arms to ward off the blow and hopped back a few steps. This is his chance. If he pushes his advantage... Huh? But Ryuji didn't push the attack and instead kept his distance. What? Its balance recovered, the piglet leapt back in and threw out a kick, which Ryuji smacked away with his right hand. Huh, not bad. He's bluffing. He looked like he'd had the advantage, but something was wrong. Damn. As the fight dragged on, his movement started to get slower, and he didn't use his left hand at all. Yeah! The piglet stepped back and held up its arms to guard against Ryuji's strike at its chest. You think you can beat me in a fistfight? Not in a million years, pal. The punch had just been a feint to open up the piglet's head. Ryuji took his opening and delivered a brutal headbutt. The piglet wobbled for a minute, then collapsed to the ground. It didn't move. Huh. That's right. Ryuji? He dropped to his knees and pressed a hand against his side. As I ran up to him, I saw red seeping through his shirt. You're bleeding. It's no big deal. My cut probably just opened up. The one he got when the hospital blew up. Oh, no. Sorry. I pulled his coat off. Just as I'd suspected, it wasn't just the one wound that had opened up. They were all oozing blood. Oh, Jesus. His left arm. It's got to be where the bullet hit him during the spaceship game. Pretty pathetic, huh? Being a tough son of a bitch is just about the only thing I got going for me, but like this. Ryuji was trying to act tough, but it was clear he was in bad shape, and he'd gotten that way by taking hits meant for me. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. I tried desperately to keep from crying. This is nothing. It's only a flesh wound. Your leg's torn off! Just a flesh wound. It'll be fine in a minute. But... you have to stop doing this! I felt tears start to trickle down my cheeks. Hey, Spacey. You need to tell me when you're hurt. I want to help you too. Even if I can't take bullets for you or whatever, at least I can be there for you to lean on. The tears were coming faster now, but he reached out and gently wiped them away. I thought if I could keep you from finding out, then maybe you wouldn't worry, but guess that didn't work out so well. I should have known, though. You're not the kind of lady who just wants to sit back and let some guy do all the fighting for her. Ryuji, you're right. I'm pretty worn out, but I think I got enough left in me to escape. Okay, you ready to put this thing to bed? He stood up and shrugged his coat back onto his shoulders. Where to next? How about we head for the restaurant? A woman after my own heart, but I'm not feeling hungry right now. Me either, but if Hogstein hasn't gotten to the piglets there yet, maybe we can patch you up. Huh. Well, I guess it's worth a shot. As soon as the piglet at the restaurant noticed us, he ran over. Jazz hands! He handed us a towel and seemed to be indicating that he was worried about us. Good, this place is still safe. If they're not all out looking for us, then we should rest up here while we can. I nodded and asked the piglet to bring us a first aid kit. He returned in no time with a first aid kit and some warm tea. Such a nice jazz hands. Thanks. This hits the spot. Me too. So relaxing. I finished my tea and went to work on Ryuji. This is even worse than I thought. He shouldn't even be able to stand up, but he hasn't complained about it at all. Right, I think that about does it. Tell me if they're too tight. Nope, feels good. You're actually pretty good at this, you know? Really? We figured we were probably safe at the restaurant a little longer, so we decided to run over our situation. The last game has started, right? Probably. Kind of blows we missed it. But we've still got our own stuff to do, right? Yeah. We'd saved Urabe and released the hostages. There's only one thing for us to do. We've just got to hold off until they beat the game. Uh-huh. Too bad we can't punch the real Hogstein. As we were talking, I saw a small group of piglets enter the restaurant. I gestured to Ryuji, and we quickly hid. Are they looking for us? I think so. They gestured to the piglet from the restaurant a bit, looked around, and then left. They're gone. The restaurant piglet looked like he was thinking about something. What did they say to you? He pointed at himself, then mimed moving a chess piece. What's he saying? Maybe he means that a bunch of the piglet security guys are going to be here in a little bit? He nodded vigorously. Whoa, that's amazing. You figured that one out just from his weird little dance? It's hard to explain. It's more like I kind of felt like that's what he was saying. Like a trust your gut sort of thing. Damn, you're pretty awesome. I am. He seemed genuinely impressed. Oh, come on. It's not that big of a deal. I can't exactly tell him I just took a wild guess. Anyway, if we stay here, they're gonna get us. We need to leave. No argument here. You patched me up good and we got some rest. I'd say it's time for a little more hide and seek. Okay, we'll be leaving now. Thanks. Bye, Jazz Hands. The piglet waved goodbye to us as we headed out through the restaurant's back door. Pat's piglet on the head. Thanks, Jazz Hands. You've always been swell. Who am I kidding? If they're trying to attack us, they're not Jazz Hands. If they're being nice to us, they're Jazz Hands. It's just whatever. Instead of going through the plaza, we snuck through an alley to the side. Whoa, I didn't know about this one. Bear animal family, wood, bird, tweeting, rabbit, jumping, country bear, in the forest picnic, jamboree. We found ourselves in front of an attraction populated by statues of animals playing instruments. It looked like it was some kind of music game. If it wasn't for Hogstein, this place would have been so much fun. I know, right? I can tell you how many times I've thought... Well, I can't tell you how many times I've thought... Shh! Quiet! A piglet that had been standing in front of the attraction's entrance had started walking in our direction. We scrambled around behind a tree and held our collective breath. Please, oh please, don't catch us. The piglet looked around puzzled for a few seconds, then returned to its post. That was close. We snuck past as quietly as we could. That's where they should be, right? Country Bear Jamboree. Once we were out of sight of the music attraction, my phone began to ring. It's Shido. No, wait. That means it's Hogstein. Better answer and see what he says. Even if it's bad news, at least it's information. Yeah, good point. I opened my phone and turned on the speaker.
Oink. You're better than I thought. You were supposed to have gotten yourselves caught by now, you know.
What do you want?
Me? Oh, nothing really. I just wanted to tell you it's pointless to run.
You son of a...
Pretty soon there'll be more of my piglets out there looking for you. And remember, you can't leave because those are the rules.
Then he hung up. Not much of a conversationalist, huh? Something he just said seemed off. I just can't put my finger on it. So we can't leave because those are the rules? We already knew that. Because those are the rules. Wait, what was the penalty for breaking the rules? Wait, that means... Interesting. Okay, let's go over what's happened so far. Yesterday we rescued the hostages, but got captured in their place. We managed to escape, but Hogstein called us on Shido's phone. He called to remind us that his rules prevent us from escaping from the park, right? The rules are pretty clear. To leave, the park is forbidden, and if we try, the hostages die. That's why we haven't been able to break the rules during any of these stupid games. But I know I'm missing something. I can just feel it. Why does it matter? Yeah, no. It's rescued, but I couldn't quite figure it out, but I guess it's because why? What happens if we leave? We rescued the hostages, so if we try to leave, he'll kill the hostages, but we freed the hostages, so he doesn't have any hostages to kill if we leave, because we rescued them. So, like, what is he, like... So he's got nothing. So why are we still playing the game? That's it! We've already saved the hostages, so there's nobody for him to kill! What do you mean? We couldn't just try and leave the park before, because if we did, Hogstein would kill the hostages, remember? But now that we rescued them, the only hostages he had were us. And if we ran away... Oh, he doesn't have any hostages, so he doesn't have any leverage. We can do whatever we want. Yeah, but our other friends, are they okay, but also if we save the hostages, why are our other friends... Why didn't we tell them this hours ago? They're in there trying to beat a thing to not blow up, but there's no reason to do that. Right! Damn, you're smart. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, and all of our friends are in a building trying to defuse a bomb to save hostages that don't exist. Probably should have told Shirabe that when I talked to him on the phone. Before I realized what was happening, he'd wrapped his arms around me in a bear hug. Hey, Ryuji! He doesn't mess around, does he? I mean, he does mess around quite a lot, but I guess that's kind of what makes him him, though. What's he gonna do for a job now? It's kind of weird. Like, my boyfriend is an escort. I mean, I guess if he's just hanging out with ladies and being like a host and not like sleeping with them, it's different. Then it's like, okay, I mean, I guess you can get paid to, you know, charm women. It's weird and awkward and strange. But like, I guess, sure. But just don't have sex with them. Anyway. Alright, this changes things. We can just walk out. That's gonna be way faster than trying to play hide and seek. Yeah, now we just need to figure out how to get to the entrance. Hands held tight, we headed off towards freedom, but our friends are in a building that could still blow up. I'm just saying. We'd passed the hospital and we're on our way to the entrance when... Another one? Damn things are like roaches. Get out of my way. He kicked out of the piglet, knocking it to the ground. The piglet's like, I don't want to do this either, bro. Damn. They just keep coming. He was breathing heavily now and stopped to wipe sweat from his forehead. We'd run into a few piglets on our way, and Ryuji had managed to fight them off, but... Do you need to rest a little? No, I'm fine. We need to keep going. Even if he had said he was fine, I could see he wasn't. Where was Hogstein keeping all these piglets? He'd been telling the truth on the phone, though. There were way more piglets searching the park for us. They'd started combing the forest and alleyways, leaving us with very few places to hide. And they're not so bad one-on-one, but if we ever run into a group, I think we might be in trouble. Well, at least it seems like they can only communicate with those weird gestures. Yeah, I guess we looked out there, huh? He was right. If the piglets had been able to coordinate with a radio or something, catching us would have been like shooting fish in a barrel. I think his wounds are starting to open again. Every so often I could catch a glimpse of the bandage I'd given him beneath his coat, and it was already soaked with red. We're almost there, and just have to hang in a little longer. I wormed myself under his shoulders and tried to lift him up. His clothes were soaked with sweat. Hey, come on. I said I was fine. And I'm saying that's a bunch of horse pucky. Oh. We're doing this together, remember? Yeah, you're right. Thanks. Slowly and cautiously, we continued toward the front gate. At last, we reached the bizarre planet attraction, which was connected to the entrance to the park. I don't see any piglets. Maybe they didn't think we'd be crazy enough to try and leave the park. Shops lined each side of the promenade at the end, and at the end we could see the gate. There wasn't a single piglet in sight. If we can get through here, this nightmare will finally be over. I adjusted Ryuji on my shoulders and began to walk. Kinda hard to believe it's only been 7 days, huh? Yeah, you know, when I met you that first day, I thought you were kind of scary. Can't blame you. You certainly weren't the first. I don't think that anymore, though. I know you're not scary at all. You're actually really nice. And I know that even though you look like a real tough guy, you love theme parks a whole lot. Yeah, well, don't go spreading it around, okay? He coughed awkwardly and grinned at me. I think it's kind of cute, but I guess I can see why he'd be a little embarrassed. I've learned you're not the type of lady who just wants some white knight to run around fighting all her battles for. Alright, I also learned you look really cute when you sleep. Hey, you're not supposed to talk about that! Well, tough luck. I'm not forgetting that vision of beauty as long as I live. That was my turn to blush. He laughed and seemed very pleased with himself. It's funny to him, but what if I do something embarrassing when I sleep like drool? Right? That's what I'm saying. We're all a pretty interesting bunch, huh? And those other guys are real characters. And if we hadn't all been thrown into this meat grinder, we never would have met. Kinda makes you feel weird about leaving, doesn't it? Yeah. I wonder if I won't get to see Ryuji anymore once the game is over. But I do want to see him again. I really do. A life or death game hardly seems like a kind of place where you'd meet someone special, but I had. Someone very special. I mean, he kissed us. But, I mean, the bad ending's gonna be like, nah, man, I gotta go back to my life of boning. Like, there's the exit. This is it. I hadn't noticed how close we were. The gate was only 30 feet away. Oink. Welcome! What? As Hogstein's voice echoed throughout the air, piglets poured out from behind the shops. It's a trap. Shit. This is bad. This is real bad. Before I knew it, we were surrounded by more piglets than I'd seen in the whole week we'd spent at the park. The dark crowd parted to reveal Hogstein swaggering toward us.
My, leaving so soon? Please, I couldn't possibly let you go without a little souvenir.
Oink oink. Is that a gun? There was no mistaking the cold metal object in Hogstein's hand. No. Does this mean he was just playing us the whole time? When did you figure out what we were trying to do?
Figure out? Please! You're so silly. I lured you here.
But when did you... The phone call!
Correct! I gave you a tiny little hint, and you fell right into my trap. I guess being so clever isn't always helpful.
Damn it. And we need to have more games with, like, evil pigs or evil bears or something, because I really kind of enjoy the Monopig voice, which is like the Monokuma voice, which is adapted because the Monokuma voice broke me. But, like, I really enjoy it, so many people like, I fucking hate it, stop doing it, but I love it, we need it more often. we need, we already had Mono Rabbit, I guess. We need to have, like, Monocat, and, like, we need to just have, like, evil animal mascots, like, trying to kill us more often, because it's just fun. Anyway. The piglets began to close in. We were done for. But Ryuji just patted my head. Don't look so worried. There's nothing like seeing you smile. What? Suddenly the world spun as Ryuji tucked me under his arm like a football and took off toward the gate. Yeah! Okay. Hey! He slammed into the piglets that came at us with his shoulder, pushing them aside. Get out of my way! Oh, I hit that one right in the stomach with my head! But with every hit, he slowed down a little bit more. If his wounds hadn't been torn back open already, they certainly weren't now, and he had likely given himself some new ones, too. I won't let them get you. Ryuji! Hogstein stood between us and the gate, gun in hand.
Oink! It's all over!
He lifted the gun to aim it straight at Ryuji's head. He's going to kill him! I felt something begin to boil up inside me. Yeah. Why is he always doing this? I thought we made a promise to work together! Oh, we're getting mad at Mitsudashi? I thought we were getting mad at Monopig. I'm like, if he keeps this up, he's gonna kill himself! We're supposed to get mad. What's wrong with you? I let out a roar like no yell had ever yelled before. Whoa. Ryuji and the piglets in front of us stopped in their tracks, stunned. And... knocked out Monopig. Yeah! Hogstein jumped, in what seemed like an instinctive reaction, he cowered and threw his hands up to protect himself. For the moment, he was frozen. It's nice to know that if I were ever in a situation like this, my anger management issues would be like, what the fuck is wrong with that? And like my rage would come out and like everyone would just cower and bow down to me and it wouldn't be like, what a fucking psycho bitch. They'd be like, okay, whatever you say, man. And I just, yeah, be able to win this shit. I'm just saying, it's nice to know. For the moment, he was frozen. You're gonna whip that out now? You were trying to whip it out on the space. Oh, no. Okay. Never mind. Never mind that. This is your opening. Use it. Right.
Oh, what? Wait. What the hell am I apologizing for?
He scrambled desperately to re-aim his gun, but it was too late. Ryuji shot forward. Bitch. Okay. Monopig looks weird knowing that it's just like there's just normal human legs coming out of a Monopig costume. Like it just looks so fucking awkward. Monopig! No, I'm just kidding. Hogstein! He roared with fury as he smacked into the frozen pig. Yes! With me still clutched under his arm, Ryuji leapt out through the gate. He landed on his feet, wavered for a moment, then collapsed. We did it! What's next? And then he passed out. I clambered to my feet, grabbed a hold of his arms, and started to pull. He's put himself in danger a bunch of times for me. I'm not gonna let Hogstein kill him. I'll keep him safe if it's the last thing I do, but Hogstein could still blow up the building with our friends in it. Do we just... Whatever. It's just a lot of things, you know. Like Shodabe trying to kill Udabe, and you're like, did you just fire a missile at him? Okay, sure. Just a little further. I just need to get him away from the park. One step at a time, I hauled him away from the park and Hogstein. This really just sounds like, now I gotta get him away from the park because it's trying to kill us. It sounds like something out of a horror movie right now. Pass out ending. Okay. Yep. Oh, jeez, look at the time. I opened the curtains and let the warm morning light stream into my room. I can't believe it's only been a week. I'm still sore all over. After Ryuji and I escaped, the rest of our teammates beat the game they were playing and left the park too. Again, they didn't have to do that, but the press was all over the whole thing for a while. Oof, it's only been a week, so they'd still be all over it. Fortunately, Shido pulled a few strings and managed to keep them out of our hair for the most part. My uncle and the other hostages weren't so lucky, though. He was constantly getting jumped by reporters, and last I'd heard, he was pretty fed up. As for the rest of our team, Wakasa had gone back to work as a pop star. From what I'd heard, he was pretty grumpy that none of us had known who he was. But apparently he was channeling that into his career, and he was determined to become so popular that everyone would recognize him. He's so full of himself. The game must have made Mayoshi reflect on his own choices, since he'd started to work part-time once we got out. The rumor was that he was saving up money for job hunting, and that he was shooting to get a job in the game industry. Udabe had turned himself in. Again, I don't want him to do that when we're in his path, because that's gonna suck. It's gonna be like fucking Shiraishi again. I'll wait for you when you get out of prison. Fuck. Why do I gotta love the ones in jail? I don't want to be a prison wife. Anyway, he'd regretted working with Hogstein and wanted to try and make amends for what he'd done. I told him that I wanted to get a reading from him when he got out, and he'd given me a warm smile and said it would be his first priority. And here's the thing, he was conned into doing it, into helping. Wasn't he? Like, he didn't purposely go in, like, working with him, right? It was kind of like when Toa did it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna manipulate you into doing it. Anyway, Shodabe was tracking down the truth. In the end, we hadn't learned anything about who Hogstein really was. Yet. Oh, I'm so excited, though. We get a little bit more into, like, kind of the backstory with it. I love how they do this if you go down it the right way. Because we learned a little bit more, like, Mayoshi, you know, talking about witnessing the bus accident. And I was like, does that have something to do with why our parents are dead and our sister or whatever, right? And then there's now Mirashi coming out with, like, my parents died in this bus accident. And you're like, okay, this obviously has to do with why we're all trapped in this park and all this shit. But we don't quite know. It's just a little bit more story. Like, Toa had fucking nothing. Toa had fucking nothing. He had nothing. I don't know why he was there. He had nothing. Like, he was the 100% fluff where you're like, oh, look, it's happy, and we don't know why we did this, but okay, sure. Like, he was just the fluff. And then we get a little more in depth as we go, and like, I'm sure because Urabe is next, so we're going to get a little more because he's got a little bit more intel, right? And then, oh, it's just going to get so good. I'm so excited. Anyway, he hadn't even been arrested. When the police showed up, the pig had disappeared. What was Hogstein after? If anyone could find out, I had a feeling it was Shirabe. Shido had gone back to his job as a detective, and I'd heard from him that the piglets had turned out to be just ordinary people. They'd all been hypnotized or something and had no memory of anything that had happened. We'll never know who Jazz Hands really was. I'm sorry. I would love a secret ending where you like fall in love with Jazz Hands and you're like, hey, Jazz Hands is our Prince Charming. They wouldn't do that because you wouldn't know that someone's playing this and have called one of the piglets Jazz Hands, or just given them a name and then just it's always the same piglet. You know what I mean? Like, you know, is anybody else playing this like, that's my piglet Tim? No, but Tim is a terrible typist. We wouldn't insult a piglet by calling him Tim. But what if you named your piglet Carl, right? And you're like, Carl, what's up, Carl? And you called every piglet Carl. Wouldn't you? You've gotten attached to Carl now, haven't you? Just as we have gotten attached to Jazz Hands, and we kind of want to marry Jazz Hands. But at the same time, I don't, because I want to keep Jazz Hands a mystery. He's an enigma, a riddle that we will never unravel, and I like it that way. I'm sorry, I just really fucking love Jazz Hands. I don't know, anyway. We've been left with more questions than answers. Honestly, we've been left with more questions than answers. But maybe someday I'll get some answers. But right now I've got other things on my mind. And speaking of those things... How's it going? My door burst open. Ryuji! I hadn't seen him in a while, and this surprise visit made my heart swell in my chest. As soon as my uncle had gotten out of the park, he'd called the police, who had immediately moved in to surround it. It hadn't taken me long to reach them, and they'd saved us. I was curious about what had happened to Hogstein, but I figured I could leave that to Shido and Shirabe. I'd survived, and so had the man I loved, and that was enough for now. What are you doing here? I was gonna come pick you up. Nah, I couldn't wait that long, so I just checked myself out and ran over here. The speed of his recovery had been astounding. Even with all of his wounds, he'd only needed to stay in the hospital for about a week. Did they actually let you go, or did you just leave? You need to learn when to sit... Before I could finish, he threw his arms around me and squeezed. Yeah, I know, but I wanted to see you. Couldn't help it. You're trying to change the subject. Buttering me up isn't gonna work. He just laughed. You know, I've had a lot of time to think over the past week. Oh yeah? I think I'm gonna quit the escort business. What? That wasn't what I'd expected at all. I mean, I'm glad to hear he's not gonna be flirting with other women all day, but... are you sure? I thought you were doing that so you could make women smile. Since he lost the chance to see his mother smile. Man, you can see right through me, huh? He gave me a crooked grin. Yeah, I can make ladies smile all day, and that feels nice. But I realized that I can make a particular lady smile, and that would make me feel great. Oh yeah? My heart started to beat faster. I let myself fall into his arms and pressed my head against his chest to hear his own heart. I only want to make one lady smile, Spacey, and she's you. You didn't play games, you told me straight up, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten that. He smiled. No, to be fair, I probably wouldn't have gotten... I mean, I knew at this point, but someone saying that to me, honestly, I want to make one lady smile, Spacey. It's me, right? Okay, I just need to make sure. Like, because, you know. Ryuji... I was gonna say, where's my fucking CG? This is the most awkward pairing fucking ever. His shoulder blade, just shoulder ball, like it's just the size of her head. Like that's, holy shit. We leaned forward and our lips met. We kissed and everything else stopped mattering. It's the most awkward pairing. I still love him as a character, and it was a good path. I'm not gonna lie, like I had a lot of fun in it, but it's a really fucking awkward pairing, right? Gallery. No, images is what we want. Gallery. And here we go. Yep, we did get them all good. Da, 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 da. So we can't tell. This one I did have two, I remember that. Yeah, he's like, where like literally, unless he's wearing like a turtleneck. Oh, maybe it's. Oh wait, maybe that is his shirt. That's why it looked awkward. I was like, why is his skin different colors? You can see under his neck there's a line, so it's supposed to be like, that's his shirt. I mean, it would make sense he should be wearing a shirt, but why is it like awkwardly skin tone? It just looks awkward. You know what I'm saying? It should have been like different color. Anyway. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this. It's like, the hell? She's like, okay, focus on the fact that his arm is the size of my head. I mean, seriously. Yeah, see, I didn't expect this one. I forgot this one as a second one, so, like. It's just, they just, I guess, because her head is like a little soccer ball. It's totally fucking round. It just looks awkward. Oh, I love it. That look on his face is kind of adorable. He's like, yeah. Look at you and your round little bean head. Like. This was one of my favorites. Again, thinking hard about the coffee, and he's like, the fuck is this shit? I love this one. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, God. He's like, hey, babe, still close to me. But see, look, well, yeah, because, okay, so it's, maybe that's part of his, oh, that was part of his coat. It looked awkward in that first one, didn't it look like, okay, because the ruffles around the, okay. It's part of his coat. That's weird skin tone, flesh colored. Like, I don't know, it's fucking awkward at any rate. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, it just looks awkward in that first one. You know it, same as I do, right? Anyway. But it does look like thick, so it does look like it would kind of take some of the impact off of, you know. She's like, what are you saying? It's like, the eyebrow bone looks so awkward in this one. Also, he's got pointy ears. Fucking whatever, man. Like, whipping his belt off. I'm also still curious. We didn't get to quite understand something cute. What, are you wearing, like, cutesy animal print boxer shorts? Or are you wearing, like, frilly lace panties? Like, what level of cute are we talking about here? Because I'm very curious, and I need to know. That one was so lovely. See, I'm glad we're using this new guide, so it's helpful. The Hochstein costume. So fucking awkward. So fucking weird. And she's like, there's so much awkward about this. Oh, that's gonna be so much better. We're gonna have to, like, I like the coffee one, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this one is fucking, I'm not sure which one I like better. Like, I hate the fact that you can't go back and forth between them. I think I like this one. I love the look on his face. This one is my favorite. We're gonna end on this one. Because you know we're gonna have a bad ending and it's just gonna be sad. It'll probably be more like, oh, okay, yeah, he goes back to being an escort and that's it, and sad, and so we're gonna have to have one of the lovely kissy CGs to make us feel better after that ending, but we'll do that next time, and that'll probably be like a 10-minute part. So, like, it's gonna be short. I don't know. I feel really bad just because if we were doing like half-hour, 40-minute parts, and then that part was only like 10 to 15 minutes, I wouldn't feel as bad. But because we normally do like hour, and then it's like, here's a 10-minute part, I'm like, really? I know there's so many people who, well, I guess maybe not with Otome games, but like do so many other games and things, and they're like, okay, yeah, 10 or 15 minutes is it. And it's like, seriously? I haven't, like, I don't know, I just picked up, I didn't even have time to eat snacks, like, while watching. I want something, like you could seriously for, like, 2 hours, and I'd be like, okay, gives me something to do. Like, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I will see you guys next time. We'll do our bad ending and be sad, so see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.